So we were in discussion about the security policy concept. Okay, so as we discussed yesterday, Palo Alto Firewall uses security policies to either allow or deny an access. Okay, so it allow to enforce rules and take action and can be a general or a specific. The policy rules are compared against the incoming traffic in sequence. Traffic is processed by the security policy in a top to down or left to right flow. Okay. The default rule displayed at the bottom of the security rule base are predefined. Okay. I spoke yesterday about these two rules. Okay. And Palo Alto Firewall security policies comprises of a list of security policy rules. Okay, so n number of rules are here. So first, when packet will enter here, so it will go in top to bottom manner. Okay, keep in your mind, it will go in top to bottom manner. If you will apply the rule number one, okay, and you are applying the explicit deny rule for particular to zone. Okay, so first it will enter and check this rule. If everything is denied, then packet will drop or deny. Okay, if this packet is allowed and your source and destination information is not matching here, then it will check another rule, then another rule, then another rule. So it will go in top to bottom. And similarly, once it will check the top rules, it will go in what? It will go in left to right. This is our left and this is our right. Okay, so source zone, then destination zone, source address, then destination address. Okay, if there is any subcategorization and source and destination, then it will check that also. After that, it will check the action. Okay, so in between source, destination and action, I filtered many things here. Just like yesterday we discussed about it. So you can add multiple these columns. Okay, these column makes this firewall as a next generation firewall. Without these specific parameters, this firewall is not a next generation firewall. Okay, so these many parameters it will check left to right. Okay, so once first rule it will check top, then it will go left to right, each and everything deny or allow it will check. After that it will go down slowly. Okay, and at the last there are two default rules. Okay, so advanced includes source, destination address, port, application and URL categories. Okay, and Palo Alto firewall security policy sessions are established for bidirectional data flow. Okay, so suppose request is entering in your firewall. Okay, and if we so by default this is bidirectional. Okay, and this is your outside request or PC is there, so outside user is sending the request. Okay, and this is inside, the server is hosted inside the firewall. Okay, so whatever the interesting traffic will enter on this interface, and after checking or verification of the rule, entire packet flow will happen, and whenever it will go here, connection or session will establish. So by default, because see, return traffic it will not inspect every time. Okay, so by directional traffic will allow. I mean bi-directional means go in and out. Okay, so bi-directional traffic will inspect. Okay, so it will establish the session once the inspection is done and traffic is allowed. So it will establish the session establish the session for bidirectional data flow. Okay, how to check the session? First, I am going inside the topology and generating the interesting traffic here. I'm just starting the devices. I forgot to start after starting these two firewalls. Okay, so suppose here we have the switch and I'm trying to ping this interface of the firewall. Okay, so here I am generating the interesting traffic from this LAN segment to this LAN segment, or I can send the traffic to this interface only. Okay, so in perspective of this our firewall, behind where we are generating the traffic. So for this example in this lab, this one I am generating the traffic from here. Okay, so I am doing the ping from here, ping 210.212.111.1. Okay, so once the topology is up, it will generate the traffic. Okay, now we are going to check the status here. Okay, so here you can see head count is 50. Okay, 11. Okay, I'm going to refresh it. Okay, so here you can see the head count is increased here. Okay, now I'm going to, I need to close it. Now connection is established here. You can see I can ping. Okay, hope all are back. Please confirm if you can see my screen one more time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here whenever you have any question, just you can interrupt me and ask your question. Okay, so here as I discussed in previous sessions, this is our topology and lab. I can ping from here to here. Okay, so I can ping from here, okay, to this interface, outside interface of this firewall. I'm changing the color. This interface I can ping from here to here. Okay, and now I'm coming on this firewall. It is taking time. Okay, okay, please wait for some time. Okay, now I am refreshing, so you will see the increment of the hit count. Now it is showing 50 and 10. Okay, so you can see the hit count. This is increased, and increased for what? So your head count is increased from LAN DMG rule, okay, source edge 192.168.11.0/24 segment, okay, and going to another DMG zone, okay, inside to DMG zone, okay, user is any, device is any, okay, source and destination both, service application default by default, okay, URL any. If you will allow the traffic for facebook.com only, google.com only, So you can put the URL here. So accept this URL, it will not allow anything. Okay, action, but action. If you want to block the Facebook, you can put the URL, Facebook URL here, and explicit deny. So it will not allow to access the Facebook between this zone or between these interfaces or IP segments. Okay, so this is complete information about the security rule. Okay, so we were in discussion about this rule, and we were on the categorization here. Okay, so advanced advanced include source and destination address, ports, application, URL categories. Okay, if you are not using the advanced features, it means your firewall working as a normal firewall, it is not working as a next generation firewall. Okay, Palo Alto firewalls security policy sessions are established for bidirectional data flow. I already told. Now I am going to the firewall. I'm sorry, it is I think already opened. I don't know which one is this. I'm opening this interface. I mean CLI. Okay. Okay, so it is showing that there is no action session. I'm removing this keyword. No. Okay, so if session is active, then it will display about that information. Okay, what is the command? I'm forgetting the Cisco CLI commands. Size, okay. Size 15,000. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking I have to put the count keyword. Okay. Repeat 15,000. Okay.
Count is for access.
Okay. So here you can see if the session is active, in that situation you can see the session information in the table. Okay. So how many users and how many devices are connected or applications are establishing the session, and traffic is traversing from your firewall, it will display here the session information. So the command is show session all. I'm sorry, it is disconnected. So we can check the session here. I think it will show the session here. See, so you can open uh, the line here, and line by line you can check the session information. Okay, you can check the traffic also. Here I don't know, it will display. Okay, here it is showing the traffic. Okay, so but I want to ask you, it is a little bit slow. Okay, so if I'm trying to add a rule, I'm going here, action. Okay, so we were discussing about the action. Okay, so first, what is the meaning of deny? Deny means it will send the reply that firewall is denying your packet to that particular device or application. In that situation, you can use the deny option. But if you will use the deny option, in that situation, it will be the resources intensive. It will increase the load on your firewall. Okay. So let's assume you have the thousands of rule, and out of 1000 rules, around 100 or 200 or 300 rules are denied. So whenever the interesting traffic will hit on the interface and the firewall is searching that it found that rule is denied or this packet should not process, it should be denied, it should be dropped. So it will drop the traffic, but it will send the response or acknowledge that this is denied. Suppose I'm pinging a particular interface from my particular system to that particular firewall outside interface, and firewall is denying that. So I will get the request timeout, right? I will not get the destination host unreachable. If the firewall is enabled between two PCs, Windows firewall is enabled and one PC is trying to ping to another PC. What response it will get? Definitely it will get the request timeout. If the host is unreachable or it is not getting that particular IP address, in that situation you will get the message destination host unreachable. So here, as a best practice, should not use the deny rule. Okay. Now the next rule is what? Allow. Allow means everything, you are allowing everything on that particular rule. Whatever the rule you are going to create, your whatever the line you are inserting through the GUI or through the CLI, you can configure this rule through the CLI also if you know the CLI syntax. So allowing means everything is allowed, whatever the rule you defined, you are allowing. Okay. Another thing is that drop. Drop means it will not send the acknowledgement. It will simply drop the traffic. I hope.
How that?
Yes, Sundar. You are saying something.
No, what I'm saying is, earlier you said there for deny, it will add some CPU load, right?
Yes, if you will use the deny rule, so definitely it will use the CPU load, bandwidth consumption, because whatever the traffic it is receiving on that particular interface, so it will reply. So it will utilize the bandwidth to acknowledge. It will increase the CPU load. It will increase the memory load also, because
Yes,
it
yes.
okay.
For drop, it will silently drop the traffic.
It will silently drop. Okay, it will not do
Yeah.
anything. Simple drop the
Skip.
traffic. Okay, if you want you can pick this option. Okay, it is dropping and sending ICMP unreachable, means destination host unreachable, right? And after that, accept these three options. Another option is reset client. Suppose DNS spoofing attack or multiple botnet attack are coming, and firewall is the smart firewall. Okay, this is the next generation firewall or application layer firewall. Okay, so somebody is hitting the TCP traffic and trying to choke the bandwidth or trying to crash your devices or server. So in that situation, your firewall will work as a full barrier on that particular boundary to protect its server and applications. So every time it will reset the TCP sessions, that client will not understand whoever is sending the vulnerable traffic or attack. But every time it will reset the TCP sessions. It will see why the particular system is creating multiple sessions, TCP sessions with a particular server. It will understand that. So it will assume that one or two or three sessions are sufficient. There is some boundary now. So after that boundary, it will reset the client sessions. Okay. Same thing it will do the server side also. If you want, you can select both side. Reset both client and server. If you are using the DNS server or somewhere this rule is associated with some financial transactions also in case, so in that situation you can use both side. Okay, another thing is that the full proxy then also that is different thing. It uses between your server and firewall full proxy, and your client and firewall, I mean inside interface to server, full proxy tunnel, and outside interface to that particular client, full proxy tunnel. You will see that that particular feature in that F5 load balancer or any other load balancer, where the secure communication happen between the client and the server. Okay, so it creates, but it is the resource intensive. Okay, that is not the part of this um, uh, topic, so I'm not going there. Okay, so another thing is profile setting. You can customize the profile as per your requirement. If you don't want to customize the profile, you can go and check these the profile type options. Okay, so suppose I am hitting none. Okay, none means none, it will not do anything. Okay, now another group. So if I am using the group of features, I can use these parameters. Out of these parameters, whatever I need, I can select. I can put the name here. Okay, suppose ABC security group. Okay, and I can put the antivirus profile here. Okay, antivirus profile. So for antivirus profile, this is the antivirus profile type. How many things you want to scan with the antivirus, so that will also add. Okay, I am cancelling here. Another thing is anti spyware. Again, default or strict. Strict again resource intensive. Okay, vulnerability protection profile, strict or default. It will follow very strict based on the sandboxing and standard parameters, just like you are checking in your browser. Okay, normal, standard and strict mode protection on your browser. So many thing it will include here also. Okay, file blocking profile. Okay, so basic file blocking or select file blocking, sorry, strict file blocking. So you can create that profile also here. What type of files you want to block, you can define here. PDF files, bird files, JPEG files, or any media streaming files you can block from here. Okay, data filtering. So here you have to define the data filtering and create the profile for data filtering also. Okay, so you can put data pattern, application, file type, direction, both south and north or left to right. Okay, log severity. Okay, so you can put, create and apply that profile also. So this will create your customized profile for that particular rule or particular zone. Suppose you have created a profile for your DMG zone, so it is applicable for all the rules whatever you are applying for your DMG zone. Okay, similarly for inside zone you can create and customize and create the particular specific security profile group for inside zone. Okay, if you are having another inside two zone or any other specific zone, so you can create many security profile groups and apply on the security rules for that particular zone. Okay, if you don't want to create the group, you can simply go profiles and select here based on your customization. Okay, so suppose a rule is not associated with any zone. In that situation, you can customize the profile setting for the particular simple one rule and save here directly. Okay, now another thing is that log setting. What is this? Whenever packet will hit, okay, here log at session start, okay, log at session end. Again, if you will use the both option, it will be the resource intensive and it will difficult to read that particular log. If not doing the deep troubleshooting, if you are doing the deep troubleshooting, or this particular rule is very crucial, in that situation you have to check both the options. Otherwise, if you are creating the standard or normal or simple rule, then it is recommended to use this second option only, log at the session end. What is the difference? Suppose your packet is hitting here. I'm doing the ping, right? But suppose if you are, I'm trying to another thing, session browser, if it is showing here, I don't know if it will show now. Generating the traffic. Okay, now here it is showing. So suppose here it is created the session. So you can see many parameters are showing here. Okay, net source, net destination, source zone, destination zone, any quality of service rule applied here. Okay, host session. Okay, traverse tunnel. What is the tunnel? If you are using the side to side tunnel or any tunnel. Okay, if the HA, okay, and the direction also, here it is giving the entire information, but I am not asking about it in perspective that setting. So again I am going to the traffic. Okay, here it is showing the traffic. Okay, so whatever I want to say here, it is not displaying. I will try to show you later part, but let's assume uh, you are browsing the facebook.com, right? Facebook.com. So initially what will happen? Whenever interesting traffic will hit on the particular interface, so it will create the session or TCP session first. So it will display the log. Suppose you are picking the one source, okay, and one destination. So initially you will see many things or many application types here. Whenever it will generate the session or initial packet or during the three-way handshake. So if you will read three or four lines of that particular IP address, source and destination, so initially 3, 4, 5 lines, what you will found? You will found that it is showing simple information. You may confuse. Okay. After the fifth information, it will display the facebook.com. Okay. And it will display the subcategorization of the facebook.com. Whatever the user is generating the traffic and server is responding from Facebook. So if you will use, simple log at session end, in that situation it will display directly the end time of logs. So you will found that at the end of this logging, it will display the information about the exact application like facebook.com. But if you will select both the options, it will display all the rows and TCP 3-way handshake or any other port and protocols are floating. So it will display. So it will be the resource intensive. Okay. Another thing is other setting. Other setting is schedule. So suppose you are creating, the time based ACL in the another firewalls or the security devices or routers and switches, you can create the time based ACL also. Okay, so you can schedule this ACL at what time every month, 1st to 10th. If you want, this rule should be active or enable, so it will enable that rule at that time only. So you can create the firewall rule and schedule for that particular time frame and duration. Okay, another thing is QoS marking. So you can apply the DSCP marking, precedence, and follow client and server follow. Server flow, client and server flow. And if you don't want to use any QoS marking, then you can set none. Okay, another thing, but I am thinking I will display you whenever we will create the customized rules and object groups. Okay, so suppose you have account users, for example, try to understand. Suppose you have account users, okay, and you want to give them only 1 GB data per day. Okay, 1 GB data per day for browsing the internet or daily work. Okay, and the speed should be 50 kb, for example. Okay, so every time if they are streaming and opening the video, so the speed should not go beyond this limit, and enter round the clock 24 hour they should not use more than 1 GB data. Okay, so you can customize and apply that policy also, and you can use the DSCP marking. This is called a DSCP marking. I will show you later part here. Okay, profile setting. Okay, so we need to create the this code point also for that. Okay, okay, so now we have completed the security policy rule, or let's say ACL. Okay, so if you were not there in during the yesterday, day before yesterday, or past sessions, and if you have any query about this security policy rules, then you can ask, feel free to ask any question. Okay, so from tomorrow we will start, and I will tell you about the netting behavior. What is the netting and why we need the net, how it works. So please try to read about the netting also. And Rakesh and Sundar, please check on that that our WhatsApp group. If all the participants are added there, I will send the data for learning.
Okay, okay, Rishi. We'll update.
Okay, so I have to jump on another call. We can wrap up this session for today. Okay, if you have any query, you can connect one on one to me.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
thank you.